Hey there, guys. So last time in the anime, we saw how Akiteru finally managed to make Mashiro open up and become friends with her. And this was not the first time he had helped someone. His best friend Oz and Iroha were in a similar pick. Oz was shunned by others because he was a genius in the tech field, while Iroha had voice acting skills but was hiding it away since her mother didn't like that. That's why Akiteru came up with the idea of making his own game. Oz can do the coding while Iroha did the voice acting. Additionally, he even found their homeroom teacher was a struggling manga artist, so he even helped her by giving out the job of drawing characters for the game, which is why Iroha was so mesmerized by him and felt secure by his side and fell in love. But then Akiteru was planning to go on a shopping trip with their whole group. He's the reason Iroha changed so much, found the freedom and happiness she was searching for. But her women's instincts were screaming at her that Mashiro is falling for Akiteru too. So even if others don't show up for the shopping trip, Mashiro will most definitely be there. And just as she thought, events turned out exactly like that. So Iroha took the first step and wrapped herself around Akiteru, claiming this is what friends do, and getting jealous from it. Mashiro did the same. Iroha couldn't stop herself from laughing, since it looks so much like the competitive harem scenario right out of some harem manga. So Akiteru tried to get rid of this by going to a movie together. But both ladies had their own different picks to watch. One wanted to watch B-grade romance show, while another wants to go see Megalodon's shark movie. Honestly, it was a sticky situation, because both refused to back down, so the choice is now left on Akiteru. But Bro played it smart and said they can all watch their own movie separately. But ladies rejected his idea without wasting a second, so the rock, paper, and scissors decided the winner. Then, after watching the movie, Iroha was off to restroom, so it leaves Mashiro and Akiteru alone. Mashiro still has hard time dealing with people with bold personality like Iroha because of her past trauma. And just then, the bitches who used to bully her showed up. Once again, they started with their poison, making fun of Mashiro for being a nerd who's into anime and manga. Akiteru tried to shut them up, but the protective boyfriend aura makes them bully Mashiro even harder. Finally, they brought up the novel. Mashiro was writing with all cheesy love vibe and all. That's why Akiteru had enough of these bitches. He threatened them to get lost ASAP. It felt surreal, so they finally left, and Akiteru checks up on Mashiro. He asked her about the novel they were making fun of. But he hit the sore spot that she ran off. Iroha immediately sent Akiteru after her, but she was nowhere to be found. But Akiteru got an idea, and luckily, she was right there in the theater. It was a good spot to talk heart to heart since no one's here. So Akiteru advises her to just spew it on those bitches' faces to get lost like he did. That way, it will be even more satisfying. But Mashiro can't muster the courage. She was naturally shy, so she built up this novel writing hobby to escape reality. But those bitches found out and started to make fun of it, circulated in the entire school and bullied her. But Akiteru himself was a fan of an author named Nanako. She's the young rookie who was making a buzz in the market with her novels. So he knows the love of novels himself. That's why he never deny or make fun of someone's hobby. Well, Iroha is good, but she can't believe on her at all. She resembles those bitches. But Akiteru was more than confident that Iroha is not like others. So he took Mashiro to show that Iroha was with those bitches. But not to be friends with them, but to show them their place. Iroha outright insulted the two on face and installed fear in them. But Akiteru dropped in the perfect time, or else the matter would have escalated. Bitches also learned to stay away from Mashiro and ran off. But Iroha was more than grateful because all of this was acting. She got zero fighting experience, so that's that. But now Mashiro saw Iroha is entirely a different entity than those bitches. So she apologized and asked to become friends. Later, Mashiro even told this to her dad, so he called Akiteru to treat him to a dinner. He was happy Mashiro even made a friend. But he also knew that very same friend is the voice actor in the game. He operates a gaming company, so he can tell if there's one voice actor doing multiple acting or different ones. Either way, Akiteru wanted to keep it a secret, so he respects that. But still, he warned Akiteru not to get serious with his daughter. But there's a secret even Akiteru doesn't know. The girl who's writing the script for the game, Nanako, is actually Mashiro, but the flower of love has already blossomed in her heart. So when Akiteru returned to his room and found the freeloader, a message came from Mashiro, and it says she loves him so very much, an open confession. Now, how to deal with this? Mashiro has fallen so head over heels for the guy that she even broke into his house to make lunch for him. Akiteru can't digest the sudden change in her behavior, so Mashiro got serious to show she's not messing around, but sadly it turned out to be a wet dream, thanks to Iroha stuffing an ice popsicle into Akiteru's mouth. She came here to wake the dude because it's 8 a.m. already. It was the first time Akiteru had overslept, so he got worried if he caught some illness, so he got ready quickly to get to school. Seems like the love confession from the Ice Queen finally short-circuited his wires. After all, Mashiro was like, "Never come near me, you scum." And now she's all over him. So Akiteru didn't want to make fun of her feelings by playing fool and ignore her. So he worked up the courage to face her and makes a run for his school. But being late for one day won't cause any damages though. But Akiteru doesn't want to hear any nonsense from the embodiment of laziness. And besides that, Iroha was conscious of going school together. Who knows, it might give a wrong idea to people. But Akiteru didn't mind because he knows there's nothing between them. But she meant giving wrong idea to Mashiro. Anyways, Akiteru tried to talk with Mashiro, but she was back to her Ice Queen mode. But in reality, she was so embarrassed to speak that she had text him to let him know. Just what sort of weirdness was this? In person, she's cold, but in text, she's been so lovey-dovey. Anyways, Sumire announced the high school drama competition is coming, so she wants more participants in her drama club to compete. She's the advisor of that club, but Akiteru had his own set of problems going on. But sadly, there's another problem. The recent script Nanako sent is just completely opposite of which they want. The theme is dark, yet the concept of this script is bright romance, so Akiteru was planning to talk with Nanako and Oz also agreed. On the other hand, Iroha was jumbled by the sudden confession Mashiro threw at her man. But speak of the devil, Mashiro came to meet here. She noticed Iroha is different here, somehow, so she tried to blend in, but that's not what everyone does. Honestly, she was so cute, even Iroha fell for her, so she took her away for some privacy. There, Mashiro asked her about Akiteru. He arrived later today, for about 16 minutes and 34 seconds. That's one heck of a love. But anyways, Mashiro was worried if Akiteru was sick, and Iroha told her to ask that directly to him. But she was shy to talk, and Iroha knew why. They are supposed to be rivals in love, but how to turn down such a cute senpai? So Iroha reveals that Akiteru just overslept, nothing more. Her thoughtfulness can make any guy fall for Mashiro, that's for sure. Anyway, moving on, Iroha was bothered by this love triangle and went to have lunch with Akiteru. She tried to make some moves on him again, but Akiteru wasn't up for it today. He was already into mess with the love confession he got, so he asked about some advice from Iroha because Mashiro is not talking with him. Akiteru thinks it's his first time that someone confessed to him, which puts Iroha into disarray. Because all this time she has shown how much she loves him in her own way, yet it never got through his dense skull. Akiteru was thrown into loop because everyone around him were not acting as they usually do. Even Sumire. She also finished her work before deadline for the first time. It made him sick, so he took the rest of the day off. But before that, Sumire had a favor to ask, but Akiteru promised to do it later on. Well, Akiteru can't understand what's up with everyone, but we do. So find out how the comedy will progress in the next part. For that, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated. More so, please press the like button as well to support me. So let's meet in another part. Till then, take care.